It's just cracking daylight on the second day of the rifle season, and it's cold. It's in the 20s, cold. Windows on the quickly all frosted up. I've been scraping them so I can see out and turn my little heater on. It is cold this morning. I just looked up and these two does are feeding in the same general area, which is right behind my house, not the shooting house here, but the house. There was 4 of them there in that area last. I was getting ready to leave quickly. It was getting dark, and all of a sudden, here come a big buck. He was running around all over the place over there. Too dark to see to get a shot, but even if it hadn't been so dark you couldn't see your crosshairs. I mean, it was just too dark. I mean, it's after legal shooting hour, but I couldn't have got a shot at him anyway because he never stopped. I mean, he was flying around the field, harassing those does. He had them going every which direction. But just now, I was hoping the rascal would come back out early this morning. But I'll keep a sharp eye out because they're Whitey, the little doe, was up here on the big hill. But she came out of the woods on one side and just steady walked across the field. She never stopped to feed or anything. She just walked across the field, jumped the fence into the other patch of woods. And just as she disappeared, and I was watching her, just as she disappeared, jumped the fence into the woods. I look around, these two are out feeding, so if those are out and on the move, look around. Maybe a buck will show up to check them out. Hopefully that big boy that was here last night will be here. Like I said, it's a cold morning. And the sun has been for an hour working its way down that ridge toward the Quigley here. It takes it about an hour and 20-some minutes from the time it hits the top of that ridge up there to work its way down here to the Quigley. So you can see all the heavy frost on the ground between here and the edge of the sunlight. When it's cold and you're watching that sun slowly creep down here, it seems like it's going to take it forever to get here. Because once it actually shines on the Quigley, with all this glass around it, it'll start warming up. But it is cold in here right now, except for, I mean, it would be cold in here, except I've got the little buddy heater going, which takes the chill off of it. Here in a little while, when that sun gets down here, it will start to really warm the place up. And that is just frost that I scraped off the window this morning. Cold. Hey, did you see all them deer?
Did you see that one that just come out from up there?
Honey, I see deer run around everywhere, but I haven't seen a big buck. Have you?
Yes, shoot. I answered the phone and I lost him. He was coming out. See that one running up near the very top?
Yeah.
Well, that big buck come out right about there. And just when the phone, I had called you a couple of times. And you didn't answer.
Huh. My ringer was off.
Huh?
My ringer was off. I just now turned it back on.
Yeah, I tried to call you when I saw that big one walk out up there. He was a good sized buck.
There's at least 3 or 4 bucks out.
I know it, they're just running around.
Yeah.
They're chasing around, you know.
Yeah.
But that one, one of them looks like it's a little 4-pointer. And the other one looks like he might be just as white. My eyes this morning, Dennis, are really crazy. But I don't know where that great old big one went. He's bound to still be over there somewhere.
Well, if you see him, you call me. I got my phone on.
Okay. I keep looking for him. Dadgum.
There's another one walking out.
Now there's one. But he's not the big one though that came out.
I believe that's a 4-pointer or something right there.
That one looks like a 4-pointer.
Yeah.
That might be the one that's been running around, but they were all carrying on and stopped all of a sudden, and I looked up there against the skyline.
Mm-hmm. That's the shadow of the Quigley. Still got frost in the shadow. The frost has pretty much left the whole south-facing ridge up here. Except for the food plot. It's still got frost on it. But everything that's, get out of the way here. Gracious. Everything that still hasn't got sun on it is still heavy frost. Heavy frost. See all the frost still on the north face of the ridge. We sit down in this little valley. It takes a while for the sun to get on a lot of it. And on the north facing ridges, sometimes it'll be frost and it don't leave all day long. It's melting off the roof of the house. And you see where the sun's burning the frost off the storage building. But that field over here, that whole hillside, was working alive with bucks a little while ago. There were 6 bucks on that field and a doe or two, and they was chasing all over the place. It was actually unreal there for a while. I mean, it had been slow, you know. Yesterday it was pretty slow, and then just at dark, there was that's when a big buck, I mean a big buck, come chasing all over the place over here, but I could not get a shot at him. I mean, it was just too dark, and he wouldn't stop running. He was chasing does all over the place. And I reckon it was the same buck that come back out here a little while ago. Like I said, there were 6 bucks over there, 4 of them small bucks. And then there was one pretty good, I think 6-pointer. I mean, he had a decent rack on him, it just 6-point. A mature buck, but he just, probably 3.5-year-old buck. But anyway, the big one showed up, and he never stopped. I mean, he had scattered all those bucks. He scattered them, and the doe or two that's out there. I mean, he never stopped. Just like last night when he come in, he does not stop. He is constantly in motion. Then in and out and behind this tree and that tree and back out in the open. I mean, just, I didn't get any videoing done because I tried to get a shot at him, and I never was able to get a shot at him. Then he left. And a couple of little bucks, they stayed out there feeding around for a while. And they left about 30 minutes ago, and I hadn't seen a sign of hiding their hair of anything since then. But boy, that early morning winter sowing period, it drifted into a good activity period. The sowing period ended and the activity continued for a little while. My goodness, that's twice I've had a really nice buck out here, yesterday afternoon and this morning. And both times, had I been hunting out of the house instead of out here in the Quigley, if I had been, if I had just been hunting out of the house, I could have stepped out on my back porch and had chip shot. Oh, goodness gracious. That big buck was just about right in my backyard yesterday evening and this morning. I might have to get Diane to drag one of her rifles out and get it loaded up and set it there by the fireplace. She might have to get that buck. Well, she said, you need to come in here and sit by the fireplace. I said, yeah, that's awful tempting because that boy's been over on that ridge twice. But the trouble is, I can't adequately cover the rest of the fields from the house. I mean, I can see most of the fields, but not pretty much all of each field. I see portions. It leaves from the house. It leaves the hot spots for deer activity uncovered. So the Quigley's positioned where I can cover most of these fields. I can do the best job of covering all the fields from right here. But this morning and yesterday afternoon, I should have been at the house. Now, I have taken some nice bucks from the house, from the back porch, front porch, the yard. I mean, I really have. I've taken some good bucks from there. But, well, a deer just came out up here at the food plot. Let's see what that thing is. That's a doe. That's a doe. So I'm going to keep watch here for a while because you never know. I mean, sowing period's ended, but the rut is going big time. So 3 deer have just come out into the food plot. Man, gosh, there's been a lot of chasing activity this morning, but those 3 are just calmly feeding. A 4-point buck. The does that was in the food plot left because he run them off. But where's the big boy? Come on. Big boy's got to be around somewhere. It's mid-morning and there's still rutting activity going on. So I don't dare leave the Quigley for a while. This has been the best day for seeing rutting activity, movement of the season so far, so we'll have to stay with it. Just keep hoping that that big boy will show back up. I'm telling you, I mean, if you've got to be ready when a buck steps out in these fields, you've got to be ready. Like that at 6 that just come across there. He was out totally, probably less than a minute total, across that whole field, less than a minute. Most of the time they don't give you long. You out here, you've got to be ready for a shot. You got to have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted if you're going to get a shot. I'm going to sit and wait. Got them fingers crossed too. I reckon it's the same 6-pointer. Just come out up on top of the hill up here. Yep, that's him. He came out in that field. Probably won't stay long. That buck was crossed over this one pretty good size pasture up here, then went through a fairly large section of woods and popped back out in another field up here in just a few minutes. I mean, he covered that ground quick. He stopped to get him a few bites in that field. Headed on to the woods. There he goes. Where is the big one? Third time will be the charm. He gave me the slip twice. He got by me twice. Every other buck has given me the opportunity for a shot. Not him. What's that? That's it. Whoop, there he went. His name's 6-pointer. He jumped the fence and went into the woods. Gracious. And that is what? It's 9:34. There has been deer activity all morning. You know, I don't know where those 3 does went. They probably hid out right there in that thicket. They'll be hiding from that buck. Just got a text from my buddy Jeff up in New York. He's got him a nice buck, nice 10-pointer. Nice 10-pointer. Sent me a picture of a nice 10. Jeff's a fellow that we met on YouTube, and he's a subscriber. And he and his wife came down for a visit at the farm. Wonderful people. Great people. And another couple from West Virginia come down. We've met some good people on this. Fooling around with this YouTube channel's been worth it, if nothing else, just friends we've met. That's the truth. We met and made a lot of friends on here. Yeah, I don't see anything right now, so. Stop and get me a little snack and a little swig of coffee. These were the three. Another one off to the left out of the frame, but they were the ones up there in the food plot. And they left because they knew that buck was up there. And they ran down here and they hid in that thicket. It's been about an hour since I've seen any activity, and we are squarely between any kind of a solar period. So the movement has slowed down, and this morning's early morning activity period coincided with a major solar period, and there was a lot of movement this morning. I've seen, I don't know, 6 or 7 bucks, I guess, and a lot of chasing, and I got a good look at that big buck again. But that rascal, that's twice he's come by here. He's been in high gear every time. I mean, he's talking about chasing. He never stopped. I don't believe I've seen him stop. He just, anyway, I hadn't been able to get on him. So, it was exciting. I mean, you know, when you got a good buck that close to you and a rifle in your hand, that's kind of exciting, you know, whether you get a shot off or not. But anyway, it's been quiet for a little while, so. Still early in the season, so I'm going to take a bit of a break and go to the house for a while, maybe get a bite of breakfast or something. Who knows? Anyway, I'm going to take a break for a while and come back out in the afternoon. I got a feeling it's going to happen. Something's going to happen here pretty soon. That rascal, him or one of his cohorts, are going to show up and stop in some sort of a position that gives me an opportunity at it. So I'm going to pack it in for a little while. But today has been a interesting day. See more bucks and more chasing activity in the last, well, it was late yesterday afternoon, right at dark, and this morning, and all season. This is the 19th. Like I said, the running activity generally gets started in the teen days, and this is the 19th. So the teen days and the 20s usually is when you see most of rutting activity around here. Well, the 18th had them quite a bit, and the 19th had a bunch, so far. And the day is long from being over. Let's go to the house a while. Well, I come back to out here to Quigley just to watch this midday minor solar period. Now there was a good, pretty doggone good movement and chasing late yesterday afternoon during a major solar period that coincided with the late afternoon normal feeding period. And this morning was the best deer movement, the most chasing that I've seen this year. And that was during the tail end of a major solar period. So there was a good movement yesterday afternoon and a good movement this morning. I wasn't expecting to see much of anything during this midday. Out hunting fields, open fields, or food situation. Back in the woods, if I was hunting bedding grounds, loafing bedding areas, still hunting, I would expect to see something. But not out here in the open. But this afternoon, chances are there'll be a good movement. So here in a few minutes, this solar period will end, and there'll be a lull of a couple hours or more, between the tail end of this and then the beginning of that late afternoon major solar period. So I will be back with a sharp eye peeled for this afternoon, when you expect a movement anyway. But that normal late afternoon coincides with with the major solar period. It is dead as a hammer. You don't see any movement of anything. Not a squirrel, not a bird. Yeah. I need to see one ladybug go flying by. That's all I've seen. So, only a couple of more minutes of this midday solar period left anyway, so I'm going to go back to the house and grill up some, well, I'm actually going to grill some back straps out with deer from last year. We're going to have back straps, brown beans, and turnips and turnip greens. Sounds good. I will go to the house, chow down for a while. I'll be back for about late afternoon. Solar period and normal movement period. Well, I've settled into Quigley for the last couple hours of daylight. The solar period, major solar period, will start in about an hour. Then we'll have about an hour of shooting light left. When the solar period starts, we'll have about another hour of it. Basically, the same thing happened yesterday. And the peak of the solar period occurred about the time that big buck started chasing the does over here last night. Well, the peak of the period is going to occur right after dark now, today. But the solar period will be going for an hour. The last hour of daylight, there will be a solar period. But the solar period looks real good for in the morning. But I tell you, it was cold this morning, real cold. But it's warmed up this afternoon, a beautiful afternoon, sunny, calm, about 60 degrees. It's brought out the target shooters. It had been pretty much a steady barrage coming from the gun club over here. And I believe there's somebody shooting on every range over there. They've been wearing it out. You see what happens when the solar period comes along. Most of these shooters pack up and go home. They probably will. It's a buck, but kind of a small buck. Well, if a good buck's gonna show up, he's gonna have to hurry because it's getting late. Don't have much in the way of shooting hours left. But that darn little old buck over there. That's 3 bucks that have normal looking horns on their left side and screwed up horns on the right. And all of them's showed up in that same field right there. And there's one more buck with screwed up horns, but well, I guess he's the same way too. He's got a normal looking horn on his left and an abnormally big horn on the right side, the 4th buck. But the other 3 have normal and considerably bigger horns on their left side and screwed up horns on the right. But while I'm sitting there talking, that buck disappeared on me. Boy, they can appear and disappear in a heartbeat. He was out there in the wide open. I took my eyes off him for just a second. Look back, he gone. Amazing. Well, actually, I was looking around the farm, and when I just looked back over to that field, he was standing right out in the middle of it when I saw him. I didn't see him come out into the field, and I didn't see him leave. He was just there, and then he was just gone. Come on, big boy. Come on. We are running out of time today. Get your right in on out here. Few more minutes. I don't know if you can even see her. It's so dark you can't see her on the camera. I don't know. There's a doe. About the time I get ready to leave the Quigley, there's a doe that comes sneaking right across the middle of that field. Sneaking along like a house cat trying to stalk a canary bird or something. Reminds you of a cat trying to sneak up on something. All by herself. Definitely time to leave the Quigley. I'll probably spook her when I head toward the house, because she's right behind the house again. Man, I need to just stay over at the house and hunt out the back door. Seems to be quite a few deer over there this go around. Well, anyway, this is the end of day 2 of the regular rifle season. This makes 16 days deer hunting with some sort of a firearm, muzzleloader or a regular rifle. I have yet to fire a shot at anything. I'm beginning to think that, man, I should have at least taken one of those pretty decent bucks that offered it good shots back there earlier in the season. But I didn't, so we'll just keep a looking. We'll come back in the morning.